What's going on, YouTube? Cooley here. Today I'm going to be bringing you something pretty special. It's a Phoenix 2-star fight solo guide, okay? And it's going to take a while with the setup that I'm going to be using today, but there are better setups to use. There are plenty of different options for you to do this. And but the Trance Terra, the unit I'm going to be using today for it, seems to be especially perfect for it because she possesses the trifecta of things that you need to do this fight. Easily without taking any damage whatsoever. She's got innate fire resistance, which you're going to need, as well as earth resistance, which we'll use in our build. She has innate access to fire and ice magic, which is something you're going to need in the fight, part of the mechanics of the fight. And number 3, she has innate evasion, which makes getting her to 100% physical evasion less gear intensive than other characters. There are other units that you can use to do this. Veritas of the Flame comes to mind. Jiraiya comes to mind. He also has innate access to fire and ice damage, I think. And innate evasion, things like that. Titus, Noctis, some other units you can use if you want. But for this example, we're going to be using Trance Terra. Now, the build I'm going to be using is not the actual best-in-slot build to make this as easy as possible. So it is going to take a little bit longer for me, due to the limited gear that I have. But down in the description you'll find 2 different builds. One will be the absolute best build you could possibly use, and 2 is going to be the one that I'm using here today. So I'm just going to take a look at her real quick. Alright, so she's got 130% fire resistance and 100% earth resistance. This is what you're going to need. Phoenix only attacks with fire and earth elemental magic attacks and 1 physical attack. So what you have here is 130% fire resistance because Phoenix will debuff you by 70%. But Trance Terra possesses an active ability that also buffs your fire, ice, and lightning resistance by 40%. So as long as we keep that up, she'll never take a hit. That is what's going to make this take a lot longer than it would normally take because I personally can't get her to 170% fire resistance, 100% earth resistance, and 100% evasion all at the same time, even though it is very possible to do so. I just don't have the gear for it. So we're going to make it work this way. Second thing is that you want to put on her build is at least 35 MP refresh per turn. That is also possible to do all at once. Of course, I can't do it, but don't worry. We're still going to get through this, and we're still going to make it happen, and we're going to complete every single challenge in the fight, which is to evoke an Esper, finish Phoenix with a limit burst, and deal fire damage 3 times. So let's just go right into the fight, so I can show you how you're going to set it up and the rotation of skills and stuff, and then from there we'll skip to the important parts. Okay. Alright, so the thing to remember is that first you have to get Phoenix to not use a certain ability. Phoenix will, at 40% HP, every single time, automatically heal all the way back up to 7 million HP, which is its max HP. There is a way to stop it from doing that, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate right now. First thing you're going to have to do, though, is keep that buff up. So now she's fully immune to damage. See, miss, resist, can't get hit. So basically your rotation is going to be Maduin Guard, and in the beginning of the fight, you're going to use fire. Either Faraga or Fyra, doesn't matter. Because Phoenix debuffs itself against certain elements. Fire, lightning, water, wind, and light. Then, once you use one of these elements, which we're going to use fire because you have to, it will switch to different elemental imperils on itself. So you have to be able to use that magic spell to revert it back to the 4 elements. See what I'm saying? It switches back and forth. But once you use fire damage on it 3 times, while it's imperiled to fire, it will then use an ability that will eliminate its ability to heal, but permanently for the rest of the fight. So you see now, Phoenix is now debuffed against different elements: ice, water, earth, and dark. So this is why you need a character that has fire and ice magic. I'm not sure if it has to be magic, or it can just be elemental damage that reverts it back and forth. Haven't tested that. But if so, if that is the case, then Jiraiya is a really good choice for this as well. So that was the first 3 turns. Need to put the buff back up again. If you're using a build and you have the gear to, if you're using the best in slot build that's down below in the description, then you don't need to worry about ever buffing yourself. You can just use the magic, get Phoenix to stop using its heal ability, and then from there, you can just Chaos Wave all the way down to the end. Oh, hi, Ellie. My doggy. Wanting attention. Go lay down. Get a job. Get. Not bad. Alright, so once this buff is done and we use fire again, it's going to use an ability called Red Hot Feathers. That's the ability you want to look out for. Once that is used, permanently for the rest of the fight, whether this takes 10 turns or 5,000 turns, Phoenix will not heal when it hits its 40% threshold. Okay, so there it is, Red Hot Feathers. So Phoenix just used it, now it cannot heal. So now my rotation is going to be Maduin Guard, Chaos Wave, Chaos Wave. I'm going to use Magical Activation once and then Chaos Wave, dual casted to unlock Chaos Wave Awaken, which actually hits twice as many times and does a little bit more damage. From there on, all it is Maduin Guard, Chaos Wave, all the way down until the fight is over. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip ahead now to the point where we get to the 40% threshold, and you're going to see that Phoenix does not heal. And then from there, we'll skip all the way down to the end so that we don't have a 15-hour video of 300 turns of me kicking the shit out of this thing. Alright? But like I said, with the best in slot build, this will go by way faster. It's just that I had to get a little creative to make it still work with the gear that I had. So let's skip ahead now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we just about reached the 41% threshold here, and we're just about to pass 40%. So what we're going to demonstrate now is how, because we triggered Red Hot Feathers earlier, Phoenix will no longer heal itself all the way to full, and we'll be able to continue the fight and continue to cheese it down and destroy it. So let's just go in, start using our Zaras again. And in a couple rounds, it'll pass 40%. And Phoenix will be stuck without being able to heal. And we'll be able to keep going. As you can see, it took a lot of turns to get here, but worth it. Alright, so we're just going to reapply Maduin's Guard as usual. Usual rotation is Maduin's Guard, dual cast Blazara, dual cast Blazara again. Alright, so you can see we're already at 40%. Phoenix did not heal. Now we're gonna keep it going until we hit under 40%. Just so that you can see that it will not heal. So many explosions. Tell you what, next round I'm gonna hit it with some Ultima, just so speed this up a little bit. This section of the video now. And this should drop it down to 39. And we're at 39%. And once again, you see Phoenix did not heal. Because we triggered Red Hot Feathers earlier in the fight, Phoenix can no longer automatically heal itself at 40% HP, endlessly looping the fight with no completion. So now, instead of making you watch 39% worth of heated actions, I'm going to cut the video and move it back. We're going to speed it up until we get down to like the last 1%, okay? Okay guys, so now we've reached the final 1%. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to get it down. Final 1% of Phoenix's HP is 700,000 HP. That's 1% of a 7 million. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to play this very carefully so that we get the Limit Burst finish, because Trance Terra's Limit Burst with this gear setup is not going to do a lot of damage. We have to make sure that we get it down to, I guess, like under 20,000-ish, something like that. Just about under 20,000, maybe 18,000 HP, and then we can fire it off and finish her off. So it might take a little bit, but we're just gonna run through it now. And right now we've got her set up. She's buffed. She's gonna dual cast some Lazara. We're gonna count the damage down. So that was about 16,000. So we're going to keep counting. I've got a calculator open, so I'm just going to keep subtracting the damage that gets done over and over. Even with the holy counters too. From the Ring of the Lucia, we got to watch out for those. We don't want this to pass by. You see it, it's at 350 plus turns. We definitely don't want to screw it up and have to do this again. You know what I mean? So, oh, we got a buff actually. Alright, so there's a holy counter, 6,600. You should have around 668,000 HP left. There is, unfortunately, no way for me to Libra her to keep checking. About 15,000? About 15. We're just gonna like, we're gonna kind of ballpark it. Nine to 8 and 9 9. About 20,000. Comes a holy counter. Minus 6,000, let's say. $627,400. Okay. Boy, this is a little nerve-wracking being at this point. After 357 turns. Alright, no holy count is there. Oh, do it again. Get ourselves a little Lazara action going in. About another 20k. Down the drain. Oh, what I'm doing? I'm trying to check the percentage. Okay, so it's still at 1%. I want to make sure I'm doing my math correctly here. Got another. What I could do is start using Limit Burst and then start using regular attacks to try to get it back, but then we don't want holy counters to keep going off, messing with the shit, so and I kind of lost where I was on the calculation by accident. You know what? Let's fire it off right now. Let's see what happens. Alright, so... Ah! We did it! There it is. My math was completely wrong. I would have kept going with magic spells. I would have fucked it up. There you go. One thing I should note is that in the interim, in between getting from 100% to 40% and then 40% to 1%, I did summon an Esper. You have to summon an Esper during the fight, so don't forget to do that. At any point in the fight, you can just summon it, and there you go. But there's 2-star Phoenix Esper fight, solo, 0 damage done to my Trance Terra. The build itself, not the best, not the most optimal one due to the gear that I am limited to. But if you have best in slot stuff, you can actually make that so much easier because you can actually just Chaos Wave on repeat through the whole fight and regenerate 35 MP per turn, have 100% Earth resistance, 170% fire resistance, and 100% physical evade. It is possible to have that build with Trance Terra. That's why she's so perfect for the fight. There are many other units that can do it, like I said before. Jiraiya is one of them. Veritas of the Flame, Tidus, Noctis. They can all pretty much do it, I'm pretty sure. Veritas of the, I did say Veritas of the Flame. He's actually probably the safest bet, but it will take a long time and it's more gear intensive. But you know what? Let's just skip this and let's see. Let's take a look at it. Stage cleared. Give me 100 Lapis. Trance Terra completed. Fire damage. Evoke Esper. Defeat Phoenix with a limit burst. All missions completed. Solo. Love it. So what I'm going to do now is, now that the video's done, I'm actually going to go back and demonstrate this again on stream, like right after this video is done. So if you want, you can join me on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/CooleyBK18. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you there so we can demonstrate it again. So I'm going to go through another 2-3 hours of beating the shit out of Phoenix. Alright guys, check you later.